Hi, I'm Zoltán Olah, Head of SaaS Portfolio Management, sitting here with my colleague Nazim Basherer, who is heading Platforms Engineering at Nokia. Thank you for joining Nokia Core Talk. And I'm very pleased to welcome Robin Leblon, CTO of Citymesh. Welcome. Citymesh is becoming from a light MVNO to a nationwide operator, and has always worked well beyond basic connectivity, delivering full solutions for enterprise and public sector use cases. Can you describe how your current telecom strategy moving to this completely new mode of operation and how Nokia's core network supports your ambitions?
Sure. So Citymesh, we actually started as an integrator, a Wi-Fi integrator, and then we ventured into private mobile networks. And next to that, you need to be able to offer public services as well. So we started a light MVNO service, which basically is like a branded reseller mode of operation on a public network. And we quickly learned that the innovative stuff that we were doing on the private networks, because we control the full stack there, were quite a challenge to bring to the public network as a light MVNO, because you don't control the stack, you cannot innovate in the same way that you can if you control the full infrastructure. So we decided to become a full-blown MNO. We decided to build our own national network, fiber and mobile. And evidently, at that point, you also need a core network. And you want a core network from a tier 1 provider, right? So we quickly landed with Nokia. What we also learned is that we don't really necessarily want to be running a core network. To me, we sell use cases, right? So we're very focused on the value that we create on top of the network. We're not necessarily focused that hard on the network itself, and definitely not on the piping and the plumbing that you need underneath the network to be able to run it. So we were looking for a solution that was quick for us to deploy, that was easy, that doesn't give me headaches at night. And yeah, Nokia's SaaS core solution seemed like a perfect fit for us.
So, Robin, automation is part of every layer of network: business operations, service orchestration, and the resource control. How is Citymesh using automation in these areas, and how does SaaS model support that approach from a technical and operational perspective?
That's a good question. Citymesh we've always been strong believers of heavy automation. Our entire infrastructure over the integrator and the operator parts is all based on infrastructure as code paradigm. And when we start introducing new services on the public network with a core network, we need our partner to be able to sustain the same way of working. If we've invested into automation to deploy our services quickly, we need that to extend to all of the vendors that are part of that full service. So we needed that in the core network. We don't necessarily need the core network to be automated, but we need a partner, a vendor that can respond with the same level of agility. So having that automation, that programmability in your solution in a SaaS model allows us to extend that same agility into the other vendor.
Yeah. So Nazim, Robin mentioned about automation and how the SaaS core network should fit into that chain of automated execution. So how does Nokia support that approach?
Thanks for the great question, Zoltán. Citymesh approach is in line with what we are seeing globally in the industry. Operators are shifting to cloud-native architecture, the modularity for the faster delivery. SaaS brings continuous integration, rollback, upgrade capabilities via CI/CD pipelines. GitOps is becoming a method to manage infrastructure, state, and enforce consistency. Automation is no longer optional. It's expected in every part of the network stack.
So moving to a cloud-based core, cloud-based operations in general, and especially in telecom, is a major decision. moving to SaaS-based operations is even bigger. So can you explain us how did you arrive at this decision?
When we decided to become an MNO, when we realized we needed a core network, we also realized that there's a bit of a problem in the industry, and this is a pitfall that we really wanted to avoid. And I've heard this from many BU managers that run the B2B part of larger CSPs, is that the revenue driver in a large CSP is typically the consumer, right? That's the consumer is what drives the roadmap. It's what brings in the big profit. And the problem with that is that the B2B user is typically in the back seat. You cannot drive the innovation on the large pieces of infrastructure from the B2B sides typically. So that's a pitfall that we wanted to avoid. We wanted to be independent of consumer roadmap, and we really wanted to be able to innovate at our own pace, select the features that we want, and at the cost that we want. That made us realize that we needed a separate setup, that we didn't just want to piggyback off the consumer core. Secondly, we're a fairly small operator. We don't have huge core teams. We don't have huge infrastructure teams. And quite frankly, I want to have the smart people at Citymesh, the good engineers. I want them to be focused on deploying use cases, on creating value for our customers. So I didn't want an ops team. I didn't want to have to create that capability within Citymesh to be able to run that kind of complex infrastructure. So we quickly realized we wanted a managed solution. We wanted a tier one vendor solution. So ideally you want that tier one vendor to manage that solution and take care of that. So ease of mind, flexibility, speed of delivery was also an important choice for us. Getting a full on-prem solution from scratch, which was basically what we needed, would have taken a lot longer in an on-prem setup than in a cloud-native environment. So Nazim, Zoltan has built a fantastic product here, the SaaSified core network. But Nokia has a big portfolio of products. There's a lot of products there that I'd love to use. When can I expect the rest of the portfolio to be on SaaS?
Absolutely, very good question. So we are taking a cloud-first approach, but not every function can shift immediately, ultimately. Some critical applications still require on-prem deployment due to latency and regulatory constraints. We are transitioning step by step based on the readiness and customer needs. We are making our steps. The strategy is to modularize and migrate when it makes technical and operational sense. Flexibility is important. We are balancing the innovation with operational stability.
So looking at 5 years, 10 years, Robin, if I may ask, how do you see yourself? How do you see your role evolving in the telecom industry in Belgium and beyond? What's your plan?
What we're doing today in Belgium is I think a new approach to the B2B market. We've already dipped our toe a little bit in the Netherlands and in France. We would love to bring more of our services that we're doing in Belgium today to those countries, and ultimately we'd love to expand to more European countries and bring like this use case driven, business critical, mission critical connectivity to the rest of Europe. That would be the 5-year term. If I look at the 10-year term, we see that telecommunications is evolving. We see that it's starting to converge with things like utilities and power. So I would love for Citymesh to play a role there and transforming how those services are delivered, and maybe bring a better solution there outside of Belgium as well.
So, Robin, Nazim, thank you really very much for this interesting discussion, and I'm looking forward to continue this very interesting conversation. So, folks, this concludes our Nokia Core Talk. Thank you for your attention.